very good morning to you. Welcome to Good Morning East Africa. In today's show, we are going to talk about stories that revolve around the world of sports. With me in studio is
Abdillahi Hassan.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Well, like I said, today's show is all about stories that surround sports. We're going to look at skydiving. There's an interesting story about skydiving. We're also going to go all the way to South Africa and look at a story from Semenya, the famous runner Semenya, and we're also going to look at a very scary moment that happened to a little boy. There's this young boy who was so scared at a Saudi league. There's this footballer who scored a goal, and after scoring, you know the way they celebrate in unique ways, like different footballers will celebrate in different ways. Some will remove their shirt, some will do stands, some will, like there's so many ways in which they do it. So there's this particular footballer, his name is Gomis. When he scores a goal, he usually makes this panther-like facial expression. And so he decided that this day he's gonna do it on a small boy. And this boy, if you take a look at the photo, this boy is so scared because the look is like a lion look.
And he is not just scared, he actually runs away. He flees.
Yes. Like it's so scary, you know. If you look at that picture, you'll see that the look is like a lion face, and this guy has dreadlocks, so it makes him look like something very fierce.
I think this little boy needs to toughen up to become a man, actually.
Have you ever been in a situation where you were caught up in something unaware and it really scared you?
Well, I cannot recall right now. But yeah, that happens to everyone. But how come he became scared of this, really?
Because, okay, first of all, I'm not trying to be racial or something, but this guy is dark. He is dark and he has this dreadlock. So actually the face, you'd think it's a black panther or a lion or something. And maybe this boy has never seen such a face before. And maybe his mind was not even there. He did not expect this to happen. But the good thing is that this football player, after scaring the boy, you can see that he went and hugged the boy and tries to comfort him.
Yeah, he gave him his jersey just to console him. And that was a beautiful moment. We have the video, actually we have made a report on it the other day, so let us have a look. You were saying something about the undertones of racial, that this guy is like very dark and has his dreadlocks.
Yeah.
I think that some people, children, needs to be exposed more to different tones of color of people, so that they can appreciate the diversity of humankind.
Do you think that if this guy was a white guy, light-skinned I mean, and made the same kind of facial expression, this kid would not have been as scared as that?
Yeah, well, if he were Gattuso, you know, the former footballer of AC Milan and the Italian midfielder, defender actually, I think he would have fled.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
He's also white, but he also had this big beard and everything, and he had these very scared eyes, so yeah.
Yeah, and you know, for a kid, having never seen such a thing, maybe the kid has seen such in maybe cartoons or movies, animations, and maybe now he saw it real.
Yeah, and to give the kid a break, I think there was this old big guys and this, you know, monster person comes up to you and with this, you know, clawing and everything. Yeah, he can be scared.
Yeah. Do you think that the jersey was enough to comfort this guy, for this kid?
Yeah, of course. You know, this kid is in the stadium to fetch the ball. You know, he's a ball boy, and to have the jersey of this famous footballer. You know,
Yeah.
Gomes used to play in Swansea City in the Premier League. He has just transferred to the Saudi League with Al Hilal. So that's a big honor to have the jersey of this famous player.
Well, I think it is an honor. Like, it's not every time that you get a player's jersey. But I think the player should also take this boy out. Let him show him that I'm not that a bad person. Like, I didn't mean to do any harm to you. Like, I'm a cool guy. I'm normal. It was just celebration. Don't you think that Gomes should take this kid
Well,
out?
actually, he has given this kid more than, you know, expected from a player. He has given him a thing to cherish, a memory to do. Always, it will be always there. It's in the internet. It will never go away.
But sports people, they always have a unique way of celebrating these moments. I have seen even athletes, like once they finish the race and they've won the gold medal, like there's this Kenyan guy, his name is Rudisha. There's this famous dance, a Kalenjin dance that he always does. And so many others, like sometimes you're even scared, like, oh my goodness, and are they going to hurt themselves? Have you seen the way teams, football teams, like they run up to you, they raise you up just because you scored the goal, they hug you so tightly, some even like they make you fall down and they are all over you. Have you seen that?
Well, it is the euphoria when you are in that moment. You have done something to your team, and your team are so happy. Yeah, a lot of things happen. People are different in the ways they express happiness.
And I think that's why sometimes when you're watching a football match and the guy who scores the goal, after scoring the goal, like he runs very fast around the field because he knows what's gonna happen next.
Like he's been vanished for scoring for the team.
Like he runs so fast, like he's running away from the teammates. Because in a moment they're gonna be all over him.
Yeah, they will jump over him. You know, it hurts, man. This guy is 200 pounds, maybe.
Yeah, I think they should review, because why are you hurting me after scoring a goal for you?
Well, he's sharing with you the joy, the moment.
Yeah, I don't think that's really fun.
So
me.
our second story is very special, I think. It's about this grandma who is doing this amazing skydiving.
Well, this neuron disease is a condition that affects the brain and the nerves, causing you to be very weak, and sometimes it is fatal. Well, she's doing it for a good cause.
Yeah, it's all for a good cause.
Yeah, but still, this is risky. Did you see how the guy is celebrating?
And this other guy who's trying to, shake their hands when they are in the air still.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, actually, something you should try, It gives you this feeling that you are alive, the adrenaline rush.
Sometimes I ask myself, why do some sports have to be so scary and people still do them? Like, skydiving is not anything anybody can try. Like, you have to be really fearless and not afraid of heights.
No, it's not. Fear is not about, bravery is not about absence of fear. Yeah, fear is there, but you are trying to face it.
Trying to feel like a bird.
Yeah, despite the fear, in spite of it, you just do what you want to do. You are not letting fear stop you from the things you like.
Yeah. Have you ever been on top of a skyscraper and you look down and you feel dizzy?
No, I don't feel dizzy, but why I'm afraid of heights. Not that afraid, like just when I'm on the edge. It's like that giving me this thought on the back of my mind. Okay, what if I jump? What if I jump?
Yeah.
So I'm afraid on some day I will not think, come with the right conclusion that if you jump you will die, and I just may try.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to this grandma, because what she did is something I cannot imagine myself doing. She's too brave, and I thank God that she was not alone. They tied her around another guy, because I don't think she would have done it alone.
Yeah.
Maybe she would have died by the time she's getting
Okay,
to the
let us viewers see it for themselves instead of, describing it.
So there you have it. Grandma Superwoman. I call her a Superwoman. You know Superman? The way
Super grandma.
Super grandma. Yeah, that's a super grandma. I would be proud to have such a grandma. Like I would tell the whole world, guess what my grandma can do? She can do something you cannot do.
Okay, my grandma could walk 6 miles. You can say that now, right?
Your grandma could walk 6 miles.
Yeah, that's an achievement too. At 8 years old, isn't it?
80. Oh, yeah, that's an achievement. I think my grandma right now is around 86, and she still goes to the garden. She still can hold a djembe and dig. She's so active, and she doesn't want to be told to rest, even though she can hardly stay upright.
Wow.
Yeah, like she's always bending. She's so old, but she can do a lot. Yes, there are people who are 18 years old and they cannot even stand up and go to the sink and do the dishes.
It happens.
Challenge.
It happens.
Yeah.
The struggle is real.
We now head to South Africa. There's this amazing athlete. Her name is Caster Semenya. Caster Semenya has been judged for so many years and so many moments. Like, people say she's more of a man than a woman because she looks like a man. She runs really fast. It's not the kind of speed she has is not normal for any kind of woman. And so people say that Semenya needs to have something done to make her more of a woman and less of a man. Yes. So there's this debate. Actually, Semenya went to court to protest the International Association of Athletes Federation that is aiming to restrict female athletes' testosterone levels. So they want her to lower her testosterone levels so that she can continue being in the women's races.
The problem is that, the race should be fair every time, otherwise it's not a race. And what they noticed is that Caster Semenya is doing this progress, this rapid progress. Like she has moved from improving her race in 8 seconds and 25 seconds for 2 different races. That's a huge, progress. You cannot just do that. So they suspected first that it's drug, but the tests became negative. It's not using any drugs. Then they suspected that maybe she's intersex person, something between men and women.
Something was done to her.
Yeah. So they are now telling her to lower her testosterone.
But you see, this is discrimination. You know why? This is gender discrimination. You were born like this. You did not choose to be born a superwoman. Let me call her a superwoman, She's extra fast, and I know she looks like a man, she's masculine, but she's a woman. Science can prove that this is a real woman.
Okay, they have actually done a study on that, but they have not revealed the findings. So we don't know that.
But she's a woman.
Who knows?
She has all the body parts of a woman.
Okay, I don't want to talk about her body parts, but genetically or anything, she may be something in between. She may have, intersex is something that exists.
Some people are saying that if you guys think this is a man, then let her participate in men's races. But how will the men participating in a race with a woman feel? Like they are competing against a woman. Like if it's a men's race, it should be a men's race, right?
And if it is a women's race, it should be a women's race.
Yeah. So I think people
should
give
is she
her
a woman?
piece.
Is she a woman without being disrespectful or anything?
She's a woman. She's just a unique woman. And therefore she should be in a women's race, in my opinion. Not a men's race.
Well, we will let the court decide that.
Yes, the court should decide, but I'm for her.
Based on evidence and scientific tests.
But I don't think it's right to tell someone to lower their testosterone levels. Why should you interfere with your natural being? Like, she's like that. Why should you tell me to lower? If a man was in a men's race and happens that this man is not too strong, like maybe the people start saying that this man is like a woman, will they tell the man to do something about his own body and now start participating in women's races?
Well, is he really like a woman? Is he in, proven way?
Yes, she's a
like
woman.
in physically. I mean, your example, this man you were saying, if he is like a woman.
You know, there are men who don't even break their voices. You've seen those kind of men, like they speak like a woman, like they are like women. You might think it's like they are soft.
Well, let that be. But is he a woman or a man? This can be determined. Easily.
In this case, Semenya is a woman. She's a female. She belongs to the gender called female.
She may identify as a female.
Yes.
But it can be otherwise.
No. She's a woman, first of all. That's why she is in the women's race. So if there's a man...
I think we should let the court decide if she's a woman. You can't just identify as a man if you wish, and a woman if you wish.
Yeah.
There must be criteria because there's a race. And races you need to qualify to be in the race.
But I think people should give her her peace. She's not gonna run forever. There'll come a time when she'll say, okay, I'm done with running, So they should let her enjoy, let her run in peace, let her be whoever she is, let her continue participating in women's races. It's up to the other women to up their game, train harder.
Okay, let's also let Mufarah participate in women's race.
Really?
Okay, no, it will not be fair.
Well,
the race will not be fair.
It's fair.
If a man participates in a women's race, that's not fair.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
And if a woman participates in a man's race, that's not fair either. Yeah. And telling someone to change her body is not fair also. Because that's discrimination. Why should you tell her to change, to lower her testosterone levels, which is natural? She was born like that. Why should she do that?
But if that level is higher than woman is, what should we do about that?
It's up to you. Let me be who I am. Let me run as I have always done it.
But that's not fair, you see? You see the dilemma here?
Yeah.
We need to balance here that to be fair to both parties, to this athlete, Semenya, Kassa, and to other racers.
Well, this debate has gone on, and I have seen people discriminate and judge women from how they look. Look at Michelle Obama. How many times have people criticized her physical appearance? They say she's masculine, she might be a man, That's why she's so courageous.
That's ludicrous theories that going around. I even have seen 40 minutes long video on YouTube that's, trying to explain that she's really a man, He's not saying that she looks like a man. He's saying that she's really a man.
Yeah.
Based on the size of her hands, based on the features of her face, like that.
And this is discrimination, by the way. Why should you judge a person according to how they look?
That's a bad form first.
Yeah.
What is it why do you care?
Yeah, mind your own business. If you were not born looking like me, stop judging me from how I look. Yes, because discrimination is not just about color or race. There's so many forms of discrimination, and this is one of them. So for Semenya, I think people should stand with her, in my opinion. Despite all the court rules, I think people should stand with her and support her because she did not choose to be born like this. Yes.
Yeah. Apart from supporting her personally, actually, we wish her the best in everything. We must, safeguard the integrity of the race.
Yes.
This is sport, it's important. It matters.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Well, out of sports now, something interesting happened recently. The president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, was caught driving himself in town. People did not know it was the president. She was just driving around town. It was a lovely Sunday. And there's this woman, a vendor, you know, the street vendors who sell things like on a traffic jam. So the president was also following the rules. Like if there's a jam, he stops. He waits for the vehicles to move. He did not say, oh, I'm the president, let me move. No. So this vendor walks up to his window and discovers, oh my goodness, it's the president himself. And now people are shocked. Like, how can a president drive himself? Isn't that cool?
Was he driving by himself or he had a driver?
He was driving himself like it was him on the steering wheel.
Wow, that's very cool.
It's very cool.
Actually, I hear that President Uhuru Kenyatta is very laid back, you know, very down to earth president. Like, he does this often.
Well, he does things, and I think the reason he does them is because he's missing his life before he was president. You know, he was not president his whole life, even though he was born in royalty, like his father was the first president, but he tries to bond with the people. You can imagine being a president and you're never able to drive yourself. Like, you miss driving, you miss going shopping, you miss doing this.
I don't think I would miss driving.
Why?
It is a hassle.
No, it's not a hassle. Wouldn't you?
You know, there are these bad drivers in the road. So you have to really tolerate them.
Yeah, but it's fun driving yourself. I think they also miss hanging out in local places. Like there's this time he went to this local kiosk and ate meat from just a local, very local
Very
place.
brilliant kiosk, eh?
Yes, and he ate the meat. He's trying to show people like, I'm just a normal person like you.
And even I think his appearance actually is like that, very down to earth. You know, the last visit of the Prime Minister of Somalia, Hassan al-Khayri, to Nairobi, he received the Prime Minister with his very casual attire. If it seems like he were going to the beach, you know.
Like he's just a free guy. He doesn't have to take things seriously all the time. Same thing to Obama. You remember Obama when he was president? This day he took a walk on the streets and he was like saying hi to people, greeting people.
And he was even, there was this case, sometime he fist bumped a little kid in a crowd. He was like, he just delivered a speech, then he came down from the stage, and then there was this kid who was very busy with himself, like, started with the president and the speech, and he just fist bumped like that.
Wow.
You are made for life, you know, after that.
You can never forget that. Like, it's a moment that you can never forget. Well, I think we all need to humble ourselves despite our positions, despite our ranks in the society. Most of the times we forget where we come from and we tend to make ourselves very distant because we have money, we have fame. I think we should all learn from this. That's the end of our show. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.